Solana is one of the best performer in 2023, but what's the reason behind such surge, and will Solana be a leading blockchain in the future? Let's start from the beginning in this video. We'll do our best to provide you a beginner-friendly introduction to Solana to those who are new to it, covering its ecosystem, tokenomics, and the latest news. Stick around to form your own conclusion about investing in this project. Welcome to the Crypto Revealed YouTube channel. I'm George the Avatar, and I will be your guide. Solana is a blockchain platform similar to Ethereum, Cardano, or many others. It is smart contract compatible, and it allows developers to build decentralized and scalable applications. Solana was founded in 2017 by Anatoly Yakovenko as a main founder. Its development was guided by the Solana Foundation based in Geneva, and the blockchain was built by Solana Labs based in San Francisco. Initially called Loom to then rebrand in Solana. They launched the testnet in late 2018 and the main net on beta phase in 2020, which should have lasted until 2021, but we are still in the beta phase. The blockchain should support up to 120,000 transactions per second, and it is designed to scale up to 28 million TPS, much more compared to other blockchains or traditional infrastructures like Visa, which allows 60,000 transactions per second. However, their main website seems to indicate that they are only processing between 4,000 and 5,000 transactions per second at the moment. The network runs on a proof-of-stake algorithm coded in the Rust programming language. Specifically, it uses a proof-of-history technology, which uses hash timestamps to verify when transactions occur. And this is what enables great performances, which we will see more in depth shortly. Back in 2021, Solana was one of the best performing cryptocurrency, and this is because of its promising features. Solana is in fact one of the fastest blockchain out there that can confirm a transaction in just 400 milliseconds. Yes, pretty impressive. To put it in a perspective, to approve a transaction on Ethereum, it takes on average somewhere between 15 seconds and 5 minutes, depending on how busy the network is. The Bitcoin blockchain, it takes 10 minutes, as everybody knows, and Cardano takes around 5 to 10 seconds. Additionally, Solana made a lot of noise in the past for its extremely low fees to function, which is certainly positive, but remember that the network should rely on the transaction fees in the future to function properly. So too low is not necessarily the best. The Solana blockchain is maintained by approximately 1,800 validators. The transactions, however, are approved by the so-called Solana clusters, which are groups of 150 maximum validators. Interesting to be aware that to interact with the blockchain, all the validators must connect to one main validator only. This seems to me very centralized compared to other top blockchains in the industry. Considering it has technically only 30 entities that approve transactions, these are vulnerable points of failure. While what we want to see from a smart contract platform is the highest level of decentralization possible. The network in fact went offline several times, which is surely connected to its centralization, issues that we wouldn't face with a well-distributed blockchain. The Solana ecosystem is powered by its native cryptocurrency SOL, which is used to pay for transaction fees to secure the network by staking with validators, and it will probably be used for governance in the future. The SOL cryptocurrency doesn't have a maximum supply. It has a total supply of 550 million coins, while 400 millions are already in circulation. 70% of the total supply is currently at stake, and 43,000 of those have staked by Alameda Research, even after the collapse. Solana has a current yearly inflation rate of 6%, which is set to decrease every year to stabilize at a 1.5% in the coming years. The transaction fees should play a vital role in the future. At the moment, half of these gets burned, which should reduce sell pressure as adoption increases. The other half goes to validators as staking rewards. As the adoption of the network increases, the transaction fees should increase and compensate validators for the decreasing staking rewards to still be worth it. Currently, the staking rewards for validators or delegators are around 7% yearly, and it is the highest in the top 10 most capitalized cryptocurrencies, and the second one in the top 15, with Polkadot being the first. If you want a full review on Polkadot, I recommend you to check out the full review, which I will link at the end of the video. Solana, however, has the highest staking market capitalization after Ethereum, with 70% of the circulating supply being at stake, representing over $10 billion. But let's look into its token price. In 2021, Solana went up over 10,000%, skyrocketing over $200 per coin to reach the fifth largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, with over 70 billion in market cap. So why is now down 92%, and can it reach new highs in the future? Certainly the FTX and Alameda Research collapse had a huge impact on its price back in November 2022. It did in fact lost over 65% of its value in just a few weeks. However, it didn't reach the lowest point until late December, when it fell to $8 per coin. The huge sell-off was driven by the fear created by the connection that Alameda and FTX had with Solana. They were actually mutually invested into each other, and still FTX owned 50 million Sol coins, which represent just under 15% of the circulating supply, as we saw before. And yes, that could generate some sell pressure in the future, and that's not all. As the Solana ecosystem develops and expands, we could see it go back to these 2021 highs, but that's not everything you should consider. We need to keep in mind that it has also the risk of failing, so it is important to don't expose our portfolio at a too much risk, and don't be emotionally attached to the project. As we all know, the network went offline over 10 times, which certainly impacted negatively the reputation of the blockchain, and fueled this fear and uncertainty on its future. What's going to happen if this will keep on going? The last outage was just recently in February this year. The network froze. Many transactions have been disrupted and assets transfers canceled or stuck. For almost 20 hours, the blockchain was offline, and validators couldn't even restart it in the first attempt. The reason behind it: the Solana Foundation couldn't assess the issue initially, but then after a few months they came out with the reason, quote, "Abnormal network traffic saturated the capacity of turbine and forced a majority of block data to be transmitted over the much slower fallback block repair protocol." To be clear, the turbine is the primary block propagation protocol. In plain words, the primary block propagation was overwhelmed by an unexpectedly large block. Why is this important? Is because many are speculating on Solana's low capacity on scaling, and this could impact its price in the long term. But I will leave this now for you to make your own conclusions. Let's now move into some other news and developments. If we want to understand if a cryptocurrency can go back to its highs from a few years ago, we certainly need to understand its tokenomics, and we can look into some technical analysis, but it won't tell us what sort of performance it can have in the coming years. While in a bear market, only the development, partnerships, expansion, and the adoption of the ecosystem can tell us if the Sol cryptocurrency is on a good path compared to its competitors to go back to its all-time high, as growing demand only can drive its value higher. In Q2, the SEC alleged Sol is a security in its regulatory actions against Coinbase and Binance. The Sol cryptocurrency took a hit, as there is the risk of it being delisted from exchanges, something that we saw happening on Robinhood. However, it seems to have already recovered pretty strongly. Thanks also to the XRP news. But is this temporary? According to Messari, Solana is the fifth most active blockchain by average daily transactions. Its daily average transactions are in fact ranging around 20 million roughly, and it doesn't seem to have been altered in this past period, even after everything that happened. Messari also shows how Solana offers the lowest transactions fee compared to other Layer 1 blockchains, which can definitely attract the industry attention. And that's not all. If we look into daily active addresses, Solana averaged around 129,000 daily, one of the highest in crypto at the moment. The most used wallet is Phantom, easy to use, available on Android and iOS devices, and it is very cheap, as we have seen previously, for the low network fees. As browser extensions, it has over 2 million downloads, which is pretty impressive. Phantom allows you to exchange digital assets like tokens on the Solana blockchain, as well as buy, sell, and hold NFTs, which is certainly one of the reasons why we have these good statistics above. According to CryptoSlam, NFTs are bringing a lot of volume to Solana, high enough to overcome Ethereum's NFT sales for a period. Keep in mind that the interest is still very low in the industry, and when it will rise back up, Solana will be one of the best blockchains to trade NFTs for its great features. In April, they announced state compression, quote, "a new way to store data directly on-chain that cuts down on cost by magnitudes of scale, compared to Ethereum or Polygon's scaling solutions, is much cheaper." On Solana, the cost of an NFT now is as little as the cost of a single transaction, and this is why it's one of the most active networks for NFTs. The community is very active on building and expanding the ecosystem. Back in February and March the 7th, Solana Hackathon took place, an online global event to enable builders and the community around the globe to bring their ideas to life and then to the market through competitions and fundings. Currently, the Encode Hackathon is taking place for 6 weeks, ending in early August. It is sponsored by the Solana Foundation, and it aims to train developers on the Solana blockchain, its Rust programming language, and much more, with the main goal of boosting its ecosystem. On the 18th and 19th July, the Play Good Games Festival took place in San Diego, a free, immersive, and fun community event featuring over 50 games built on Solana, along with the developers for the community to get to know the latest, most interesting games. In Amsterdam, the Solana 2023 Breakpoint will take place from the 30th October until the 3rd November. These are some of the presenters of the event, and these are the prices for the tickets, which are already available if you want to buy them. According to DappRadar, there are 180 decentralized applications built on Solana, which is certainly promising. But we should keep an eye on how this will evolve in the future, as if we have a look into the statistics of these applications are not great, mainly because of the current market conditions. DeFi Llama also shows us how the total value locked has drastically decreased since 2021, mainly driven by the bear market and the FTX collapse. In 2023, Solana launched the Solana Saga, a Web3 phone which aims to leverage the blockchain and boost Web3 adoption. Additionally, the Solana Foundation provided $10 million fund for developers to build applications, as well as an app store for the phone. Lastly, according to the Electrical Capital Developer Report, Solana is the largest cryptocurrency by developer activity, with over 2,000 developers building on the network, and it doesn't seem to slow down. And this will likely lead into great outcomes in the future. These were just few of the most recent updates. But we shouldn't also forget other important partnerships like the one with Instagram to support NFTs from Solana blockchain and many others, which we aren't going to list now. Keep in mind that these partnerships will lead into increased adoption and into more partnerships. If Solana will go back to its 2021 value, we can't predict with confidence, but many factors are suggesting to me that it could. However, don't forget the concerns we mentioned above. Even if it looks promising now, things could change very rapidly, like we saw it happening with Terra Luna, one of the most capitalized cryptocurrency last year. So it might be wise to take a calculated risk exposure. And be sure to subscribe to don't miss future reviews. Thank you for watching.